Good morning everyone from a slightly overcast Ramsbottom. Thanks very much to Adam for allowing me and the business to be part of this fantastic weekend he's put on. A real great effort trying to keep us all entertained and amused at home. My name's John Lomas from Blue Diamond Riley Services. Normally I'd be able to be at the workshop and I'd be able to give you a tour of the workshop down in Bicester. I'm very fortunate that I've got a fantastic workshop. I've also got access to one of the best collection of Rileys in the world between my customers, my business and my own collection. Sadly today, all I'd be able to show you is a Volkswagen EOS and a 1990 Mercedes. So we thought we'd try and bring you some of the Monte Carlo and what the Monte Carlo is all about. So the Monte Carlo really is one of those rallies that is hugely popular in sort of culture and folklore, and doing the Monte is a big thing. It really is something that everybody wants to do and everyone tries to do, and it attracts such a following. It really is one of the events, a bit like Le Mans. I've been very lucky that I've done this event 4 times now. I started in 2016, I did it also in 2018, 2019 and 2020. And I was very lucky in 2019 that I had a team of 5 cars, all pre-war Rileys and 1 post-war MG, and we did it together. And Revs, who's put this day on, raised a significant amount of money for OCD Action, for the charity. It's a very hard event on you, probably more hard on you than the driver. If you take something like a Flying Scotsman, that's very hard on the car but less on the driver. This is a traditional endurance rally. So the Classique, which is the one that we've competed in, some people say it's not the full Monty without coining a phrase, but it is. If you try and drive a pre-war car from Glasgow to Monaco in 5 days, it really is something that's a challenge. There's no 2 ways about it. That's very difficult to do. It's a concentration rally, so you set off from various points around Europe and then you go down into Monaco. For us this year in 2020, day 1 was Glasgow down to Harrogate. We left Glasgow around 7 o'clock at night and we got into Harrogate probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. You then go from Harrogate through Banbury as a passage control down into Calais, overnight in Calais, and then the 3rd day is the biggest day. It's Calais down to Valence, 750 miles in 36 hours with no sleep. And I defy anybody to do that in an open top car and say it's easy. You would think driving all the way in an open top car, you would be impossible to fall asleep, but I can testify, and so can Martin, it's very easy to suddenly start nodding, so very difficult. Then when you finished at Valence, you have a gala buffet with all the people that are competing on the Historique, and then it's a gentle run down to Monaco for a celebratory ball. You can either go around the coast or you can go over the hills. So it's one of those things I would say to anybody, you have to do it. It's a real bucket list job. It's not easy, costs a bit of money, but it's definitely something that I would recommend you all do. Getting into these small French villages at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're driving through and there's a group of people from a family at the end of their garden with a barbecue and banners and horns, and then you drive into places like Valence where there's 5, 6, 7,000 people. It just is beyond comprehension. You can understand why rock stars like everyone shouting the name and why famous people like everyone taking a picture. Anyway, that's enough of me rabbiting on. I think we've got a few questions from what we asked earlier.
So first question up, John, is from Charlotte. She has asked, I'd love to take part in the Monte Carlo, but have 0 experience of this type of challenge. Blue Diamond have prepared my car, but what can I do to prepare mentally as a driver / co-driver?
Good question, Charlotte. It really is something that you've got to go out and do some miles with your chosen co-driver. Finding the right co-driver is always a hard task for anybody. You've got to be able to get on with that person under extreme pressure, extreme tiredness. You both need to be in sync. If one of you's tired, then you need to switch and you need to be able to be honest and say, I can't carry on, can you do it? I think putting yourself under some physical strain is also good. So try and do something like an overnight rally. The VSCC Measham is an ideal one, but do something where you're making decisions and doing things under pressure. because it really does take it out of you at 4 o'clock in the morning when you've gone wrong and you're trying to turn around or you're trying to fill it with petrol. So that's the best I can suggest, Charlotte.
Thank you, John. Our next caller is Martin from Oxfordshire. I'm an experienced navigator, but worry about my driver. What should I do?
Well, that's a very interesting one. I actually had a co-driver called Martin, so hopefully it's not the same person. But what I'd suggest is maybe get in touch with Charlotte, because Charlotte's clearly looking for a good co-driver and Martin's potentially looking for a better driver. What I would say is they always say every driver is a failed navigator.
Tom asks, what are the costs associated with the Monte?
It's about £1,800 to enter it, and then you can make sure you factor in on top of that the cost of doing it. It's not all inclusive, so you have to add in probably another £2,000 to get you sort of up to Glasgow or your start point, get you back down, hotels, ferries, things like that. You can do it cheaper than that, but I'd say 3,000 to 4,000 will cover you for one of the greatest road rallies in the world.
Our next person to ask the question is Adam from Canterbury. I've completed in an MG. Any tips for future events? Next one is David from Abingdon. What's the prep required like?
There's a lot of prep required to get your car there, a lot of testing. It's the old army phrase, you can't polish a turd but you can roll it in glitter. So you've got to make sure your start point is right. Otherwise, the same turd becomes something that you can't flush. So in effect, you've really got to make sure the car's been gone through, prepare everything. If it needs changing, change it, and then put miles on it and use the car in anger. But anybody can have a failure.
We've had a question from Adam. Which is better, an MG or a Riley?
Very easy that, Adam. Riley.
Indeed. You've had lots of nice comments from people, which is good.
Thank you.
Lots of people watching you.
So I think really finally for me, hopefully that's given you a bit of a flavour of what it's all about and what's there. It is a challenging event, but it's got a huge amount of following. It's got a huge background to it. It's something I would say I've been very lucky. I thought I'd only do it once. I did it 3 times and then said I'd never do it again, and Martin came round and said, come on, let's just do it once more. So we did it as a team, he and I, without any customers, and their respective wives and girlfriends flew out to meet us in Monaco and enjoyed it. If you've got the chance and you can spend some time in Monaco, that's worth doing. If not, I would recommend you don't drive the car back unless you take a gentle route, because those miles on the way back are very hard and very difficult and somewhat boring. But hopefully that's given you a bit of an appreciation of what the Monte Carlo is all about. So finally for me, once you get to Monaco and once that's all over, it's all about the party. So you need a really, really good bottle of champagne. You can spend some time in that casino. I'm not very good at pouring.
Save me some verve, John.
I know. So you get down to Monaco, you enjoy your glass of champagne, you spend some time in the casino, you enjoy time with your friends, with the car that's got you there, that's been prepared by either yourself, Blue Diamond, or any one of the other businesses that are taking time to support Revs over the weekend. And then we always have a phrase for Blue Diamond: you work hard and you play hard. So once you've finished and once you've done it all, you drink your champagne.
Hold on, it was just saying reconnect. Poor wireless connection, hold on. Yeah, it's back on live. Sorry, John.
Sorry about that. So you enjoy your champagne, you spend your money in the casino, work hard, party hard. From me, good night.
Cheers, everyone.